In mitosis, the cell divides. First step is interphase. Pretend this is the cell. All of the DNA is in the middle, inside of the nucleus. Here, let me use a different color. Yay, DNA. The next step, when inside the cell, the chromatids, which are identical copies, come out, and they kind of randomly spread around the cell. These two chromatids are sisters. That step is called prophase. This step is called metaphase. It's when the sister chromatids line up in the center of the cell, and they're held together by the spindle fibers, which I'll make yellow. There we go. Spindle fibers are pulling from the edges. Step is anaphase. This is when the spindle fibers right here are pulling the sister chromatids apart to the opposite sides of the cell. Next step is called telophase, when the cell starts to split. Sister chromatids are at the edges, and a new nucleus starts to form in each cell when the cell is splitting apart. The stage is called cytokinesis. The nucleus has formed inside of the cell, and the cell is now split, and there are two cells. These two cells are identical to each other. Now I'm going to tell you about the steps. Meiosis. I think this is how you spell it, but I'm not sure. Yay. Okay. The first step is called interphase. Kind of like in mitosis, all of the DNA is inside the nucleus. Now, inside the cell, the sister chromatids and the homologous chromatids pair up. These two are sisters, that's a bad arrow, but these two are homologous. Don't know how to pronounce that though. Just going to call it that. Step is called metaphase. Now, the homologous chromosomes line up in the center. Wait, hold on. There we go. These are supposed to be connected. There we go, that's better. So the sister chromatids, which are these two, 1, 2, but the homologous, which are these two together, they line up in the center. And their spindle fibers are again, oops, I should do that in yellow, sorry. No, they're pulling them out to the sides. Step is called anaphase. Homologous chromosomes are pulled apart. But then the sister chromatids are still together. And again, spindle fibers are pulling them apart. The next step is called telophase 1 and cytokinesis. The cell splits apart, and then you have the little sister chromatids. They're pulled apart to opposite sides when the new nucleus starts to form in the cell, in each cell. The next stage is called prophase 2, where the sister chromatids, after they made their own nucleus in each cell, they pair up again. Draw. That's a bad one. This step is almost identical to mitosis, except for that the homologous chromosomes are in these separate cells. 1 cell, 2 cells. Yay! The next step is called metaphase 2, when the sister chromatids line up in the center. And they're pulled together again by the spindle fibers. Do 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 do. Okay. The next step is called anaphase 2, when sister chromosomes are pulled apart. The spindle fibers are still pulling at them. They're pretty much done pulling them apart because, yeah. Spindle fibers are done pulling them apart now. And the last phase is called telophase in cytokinesis 2, where now there are 4 cells, and then the nucleus is forming with DNA in the middle. Yay! That was meiosis. But all the different cells that were made are different from the one that started them. Reproduce using mitosis. Reproduce using mitosis. That would be asexual because the cell is the same. Well, the cell. Hold on. The cell that was made is pretty much the same as the original one. Reproduce using meiosis. All of the different cells are different because they each have different chromosomes inside the nucleus. Let me draw the nucleus. Yay! Some environments that would favor mitosis. Wait. So asexual or meiosis. Sexual would be things about reproducing asexually would be some advantages that would produce asexual. You don't need to find a mate, and sometimes it can be hard to find a mate. And also, when you reproduce asexually, you can make more things faster. A good thing about meiosis is that you can evolve. An example would be if there's a virus that comes along, and you know it's coming, and so you make all these different types of yourself, or you reproduce, but they're all different versions. Some might have they would evolve in different ways. And if the virus only killed purples, which are you, then it would kill you and that, but then these 3 might survive. So that's an advantage of meiosis. Another advantage of sexual reproduction or meiosis is that you can be more thing to protect offspring, and more people finding food. And more people to do double the work and to take care of your kids. Was more advantages. Now I'm going to do the environments that favor each form of reproduction. So, sexual and asexual. Most of the time, if it's like a place where not many other species live, or that not many things can survive, it would be hard to find a mate. Well, no, never mind. No, scratch that. It would be better since you don't have 2 parents to protect your offspring if you used asexual, because you can make more offspring faster, and you don't need more protection. Another thing that favors sexual something that favors sexual reproduction would be if there's an environment full of food and nutrients, then there would be more of your type around, and it would be easier to find a mate and easier to find food for your kids. And since if there were a lot of nutrients and food in the place that you were at. Unfortunately, there might be more predators, but also there would be two parents taking care of the kids if you use sexual. So another advantage about reproducing asexually is that if you knew that there was no, that's a bad example. Another advantage of reproducing asexually would be that if you knew bad weather was coming up or something, then it would be easier to have more kids faster, and then more could maybe survive. And it would be easier to have more kids because you wouldn't have to take time finding a mate. Sorry, I was going to write these down here, but never mind. Okay, I guess advantage about reproducing sexually would be that Okay, if there was a scenario where you had to move a lot, maybe there was bad weather or there were other animals moving a lot. An advantage about reproducing sexually would be that you would have less kids to take care of, but then more parents to take care of the kids, so it wouldn't be as hard to move them around. This is an example of some animals that reproduce, asexually. It would be like starfish, bacteria, kind of really simple, less intricate animals. But then most animals and mammals reproduce sexually. So like the leafy sea dragon, they use sexual reproduction. Since the leafy sea dragon lives in the sea where a lot of other animals can also go, it's an advantage. It's an advantage since they have two parents to take care of the offspring. Also, it's good that they use sexual reproduction because the leafy sea dragon can then evolve. Another thing that reproduces asexually is the desert grasslands whip-tailed lizard. Wow, that's a long name. Okay, because I think that species is only female, so they reproduce asexually. Wait. There. Well, no, wait. Okay, yay, bye.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.